since closing the hatches between the Soyuz craft and the Rassvet module to which it is currently docked. They accomplished a series of leak checks between on either side. Before entering the craft, they were able to say a final farewell to the 3 astronauts and cosmonauts that will remain on board the International Space Station. Here you can see them beginning to egress into their docked Soyuz vehicle. All of the crew currently inside of the Rassvet module. Right here you can see NASA astronaut Dr. Tom Marshburn now moving in. The man he's moving past in the striped shirt there is Pavel Vinogradov, a Russian cosmonaut who is remaining on board and will continue his stint as commander of Expedition 36, having taken over command of the International Space Station yesterday from departing commander, Canadian Space Agency astronaut Chris Hadfield. Now giving a final goodbye there and climbing in, you can see Russian cosmonaut Roman Romanenko. He will be in the center seat of the descent module throughout the flight this evening, in charge of all the Soyuz systems throughout the flight. He is the TMA-07M commander. You will hear him referred to as Parus, his call sign, Parus being the Russian word for sail. He is currently conversing with the flight control team in Koryov, Russia, and the Russian MCC, or Mission Control Center. Following that hatch closure, again, they conducted a series of leak checks on either side of the hatch, both in the Rassvet side with Vinogradov remaining on board the station, and Romanenko conducting those checks from the Soyuz side inside of the orbital module. There you can see the hatch being closed between the two, the hatch on the Soyuz craft. Three astronauts loading into the Soyuz craft, departing after spending 144 days on board the International Space Station. The crew arriving in that craft after launching from the Baikonur Cosmodrome back in December. By the time they land a little bit later tonight, they'll have spent 146 days total in space. Each of these astronauts racking up a good deal of time after this long-duration expedition. Amongst them, Soyuz Commander Romanenko clocking in at 334 days after this evening, as he had previously flown on a long-duration spaceflight during Expeditions 20 and 21. Meanwhile, departing Expedition 35 Commander Chris Hadfield will be at a total of 166 days in space. Veteran of 3 space flights now, his 2 previous stints on board space shuttles during STS-74 and STS-100. And finally, Tom Marshburn will be clocking in at 162 days in space, a veteran of 2 missions now, this Expedition 34-35 and also STS-127.
Standing by for physical separation in 35 seconds. Okay. Well, now I can copy you loud and clear. Select depot. Okay, separation confirmed. Timer is on.
And separation confirmed at 6:08 p.m. Central Time, while the station and Soyuz craft fly about 257 statute miles over eastern Mongolia.
Well, good luck. I'm looking at GSO-1 to confirm, combine confirm. I can have a visual of the target. We're backing off. Well, so far it's peace and quiet. In 20 seconds. I'll be ready for A9. Stand by. That would be an auto. Oh, okay. Okay, that would be an auto. Yes, I can see it. Say it again. Yes, depot selection will be done in auto. Okay. But
again, physical separation from the International Space Station confirmed. The station was at an altitude of 255 statute miles over eastern Mongolia.
Do that.
Backing away at a rate of just a little over 1/10 of a meter per second.
Best of luck. Okay, guys. Bye. Depot will be firing for 15 seconds. Copy. Roman, soft landing to you guys. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Next in the timeline, the Soyuz craft will be executing a 15-second burn of 2 of its engines, enabling it to further separate away from the International Space Station.
Depot firing for backup. Yes, so confirmed, everything is nominal and we're standing by.
Делаем операцию по конфигурации связи после расстыковки для того, чтобы у нас появилась на борту СГ-1.
Что? Есть вращение двигателя. Да, да. Ром, отлично, отлично получились, только солнце светит прямо в глаз.
Я понял.
Не в ту сторону отваливай. Все замечательно.
Okay. Close out ops for page 90. Inaudible will be done on your go. Copy.
So the Soyuz continuing to open up the gap of distance between it and the International Space Station. That undocking again coming successfully at 6:08 p.m. Central Time, while the station was flying just about 255 statute miles over eastern Mongolia. Separation burn was completed successfully, firing 2 of the Soyuz engines just 3 minutes later at 6:11. The Soyuz will continue to open the gap between itself and the International Space Station over the next few hours, eventually getting to a distance of about 12 kilometers away, or just under 7.5 miles. Seeing the Russian Mi-8 helicopters circling the landing zone in preparation. The ground in sight. Here you can see the parachute coming down and the plume coming up from the soft landing engines. An unofficial landing time now at 9:31 p.m. Central Time. The 3 former Expedition 35 crew members returning to Earth.
Where?
And there we have Soyuz Commander Roman Romanenko of the Russian Space Agency, already been extracted from the craft.
Even the suit is clean. Okay. Right leg. Slowly, slowly. Okay, pull him. Okay. Okay, turn him over. There we go.
Second crew member out of the Soyuz craft, NASA astronaut Tom Marshburn. Still remaining on board, Canadian astronaut Chris Hadfield.
I stay with this.
The astronauts will be carried over to these seats where they can relax for a moment as they're all extracted before eventually being moved over to the medical tent erected about 100 meters away from the landing zone. Once inside that medical tent, the crew will get their initial medical exam. I can see some of the another Russian Mi-8 helicopter just now touching down.
I was tense for something worse than it was.
Getting a few words there from Soyuz Commander Roman Romanenko. You'll hear them comment on the weather quite a bit, as the weather in Kazakhstan can be quite unpleasant during certain times of the year. Meanwhile, Canadian Space Agency astronaut Chris Hadfield being lowered into his seat now after being extracted from the Soyuz craft. All 3 crew members now safely out.
Okay, do we have everything here? Well, about our leave. We put this signature in the bed kit to the crew surgeon.
What do they normally do? You got a skeeter on your foot. I guess I can find out. Man, it does carry it. That watch weighs like 10 pounds. I'll carry it for you. Cool. Did you do this on the shuttle? Did you start moving your head around? I did. How'd you do that with our kids? Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's weird to do this at my head.
How are you doing? Good. Nice to meet you. Yes, yeah. Boy, that was quite a ride home. Quite a some tough, great little spaceship. We were laughing. It was a lot of fun. You may not go home on the same day.